back to Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris on Florida Man Radio.
And if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You ain't black. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. But first, we have to continue the lack of democratic process by the Democratic Party. Did you know that Biden just put out a report that one of the things he's going to try to work on before he leaves office is, and he's already backed this plan.
Okay.
But the President Biden and his possible plan to support the drastic changes to the Supreme Court. Because you see, prior to Donald Trump winning office and getting a conservative majority in the Supreme Court, Joe Biden actually was one of the biggest proponents, if that's the right word, of leaving the Supreme Court alone. He actually fought for that, of leaving the Supreme Court alone. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. They are not to be swayed, altered, or messed with. I know it's hard to believe that, guys, but he actually stood for, now this, of course, is when they had Democratic control of the Supreme Court, but he actually stood for the Supreme Court being left alone. Trump came in. He made great nominations. They all got appointed, and we have the Supreme Court we have now that is kind of more of a conservative Supreme Court, which I praise God for. But before he abruptly dropped out the presidential race, he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to lead the ticket. All right, now he is working. Kamala.
Go ahead. He is working.
Harris. So he said that he's dropping out to focus on finishing the job. Well, one of the jobs that he wants to finish, and he's leading the ticket to do this, is indicating that he is considering supporting and signing off on legislation that would attempt to impose term limits on Supreme Court justices and this is what I want to pick apart.
Okay.
A new enforceable ethics code. Now, what does that mean?
Enforceable. So they want to make it a law.
Right, that they can enforce when the ethics code
okay, so
is violated.
Ethics are different for each people.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
no, you're exactly
you should
right.
be a good person, but is it Biden's ethics or Trump's ethics?
That's exactly why I want to unpack this.
Okay.
So you have an administration with Harris that wants not only open borders, she wants open vaginal borders.
Wait.
Now, I'm not... I'm not trying to impede on your rights as an American person.
Okay.
But if you play the game, you pay the price. If you end up pregnant by sexual contact and you get pregnant, you should have a baby. That's just the way it works. Now, I do, even as a Christian man, I do kind of side with Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump that if you're raped or if your dad or grandpa molests you or if you're going to die and between you and your God, you decide that you don't want to raise a raper's baby or an inbred molested baby, I don't have an opinion on that. I almost feel like
it's not your vagina. You can't really make that decision because
Right.
I keep hearing that. Okay, so those are all less than 1% of abortions.
Exactly.
And just because you have an abortion after you were raped or molested by your grandpa does not make you less of a victim of that rape.
I
all
get
it
that
does
100%.
is make you a victim of rape plus
a victim of
a
abortion.
mom of a dead baby.
Right. No, I get it. Trust me.
Yeah,
and
I know you do.
And
I just feel like...
No, and I'm cool with that. Listen, and I don't care if we offend people. That's part of our show. We don't care if we offend you. We just want to give you our opinion and our knowledge, and what you do with that is how you chew on it is followed is up to you. Heather has an absolute no stance on abortion.
Right.
I normally have that same stance. I do. I don't believe in abortion, period. I'll leave it at that. But the more I've listened to the people on TV, I can understand not wanting to raise. I get it. Trust me.
Okay, and I want to add one more thing.
All right, go
Those
ahead.
ones where they say that the mom is in distress or the mom will die, that is a medical procedure. That's not even considered abortion.
You're absolutely right.
Okay,
Those
I'm
are
done
called,
here.
No, you're not done. No, listen, you're not done. That's why you're part of my show. All right? I love you as a producer, but also as a woman, as a mother, as a wife. You are a big part of this show, and your opinion matters.
Thank you.
I'll never turn your mic off. It's always on.
Okay.
I don't even know how to turn your mic off. First of all, you're in control of the mics. But anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Your voice matters on this show. And I think the people like hearing your opinions. Amy had a situation one time something happened. I don't know what it's called. They named it either, and don't quote me on this, you may know. They either named it a missed abortion or
Was it a chemical
No.
pregnancy?
She got pregnant. There was a baby there. She conceived. She missed a period. And then something happened, and she wasn't feeling well, and there was bleeding, there was this, and the doctor's like, the baby's no longer, it's not a baby. Whatever the egg was, whatever that process of conception was.
Like zygote.
I don't know. But there was conception. The sperm and the egg met, and
Right.
there was something conceived, but that conception did not take form. It
Sometimes
did not grow.
they call that like a chemical pregnancy, and then
They called it like a missed abortion, I
okay.
think.
I mean, they very well may
And
have.
that was a hard name for us because we were like, wait a minute, what do you mean a missed abortion? Like, I can't go around telling people my wife had a missed abortion. They're like, no, that's not what it means. They're like, we have to remove this because it will only get infected and it'll only put
Right.
toxins into her body and it'll eventually kill her. There will never be a baby. There will never be a heartbeat. There will never be a brain cell. Whatever happened didn't happen.
Right.
Even though there was conception,
Clearly not contraception.
and she missed a period, and she tested positive for a pregnancy test within 2 months when we went to the doctor because she wasn't
Right.
feeling well. Like, she didn't even make the first trimester, right? Like,
Right.
within a couple months, there was a problem, and then in order for her not to die from toxicity, is that the right word? They had to remove whatever was in her.
So DNC and clear her
Yes,
out. Yes.
they did a DNC on her. Yes, so.
Which is the same thing they would do if somebody was actually having an abortion. They scrape your uterus.
Okay, so in that circumstance, under our medical advice from our doctor and what was best for Amy and our family, we knew, like, okay, there's no reason to try to carry this pregnancy out.
Right, it's not one.
It's going to kill my wife, and there ain't going to be a baby anyway.
Right.
So we did what was right. I support that 100%.
Yes,
All right.
but that is not an abortion.
Right. It's not an abortion. And they told us that, and they made it clear to us. But I really do, listen, as a father of three daughters, a father of six daughters,
What?
6 daughters and 2 sons, I cannot put myself in a situation and I'm a weird person. So
No, I get it.
Well, I think out things. Like,
my husband's the same way. He's like, I don't have a uterus. I don't know how those feelings and emotions
I don't know what I
happen.
could tell my daughter if she came home and goes, Dad, I got raped at the movie theater last night. And then in 3 months, she finds out she's pregnant.
Well,
and
you
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I love Jesus. I believe in God. I am a born-again Christian. But I can't sit here today on my high and mighty throne and say that I would tell my daughter, we're going to raise this baby in the name of Jesus. I can't tell you that. Because I know me and my anger.
Well, what you do first is you help
Kill
her
the guy.
get
Go
through.
find the guy and kill him.
Well, you can do that too, but you would help her through the rape. I mean, because getting rid of
I understand. Getting rid of the baby.
It doesn't
getting rid
change
of
the
baby,
fact that she was brutally raped.
Yes, getting rid of the baby doesn't change the fact that you're raped. I get it. And okay, and here's the reason I'm going with this. I did this on purpose.
Okay.
Not to make people mad and not to have an abortion argument or an abortion fight.
Right.
To bring up the diverseness
Of
the word abortion.
Yes.
And no matter where you are, liberal, conservative, ultra-conservative, ultra-liberal, we all have a different understanding. Some of us kind of line up the same, but when you're in your house all alone and it's you and your family, you may not always be on the platform you think you are. So, again, calm down a little bit and learn to listen to people. So this is where I'm coming up with this.
And at the end of the day, if you couldn't have changed other people's minds, you know what? You can still go to bed because your mind is the only one you have to sleep with.
That's right. You're absolutely right. No, you're 100% right.
It
Find
sucks,
peace. Find peace.
but you can't be mad at everybody for choosing something different.
I heard a thing said you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can't change your mind and get you to agree with me, but I don't have to sit here and argue with you every day either. I can find somebody else to go talk to. And please don't leave your spouses if you argue with your spouses. But where I'm going with this, and I did this on purpose. I pulled the scab off this on purpose.
Okay.
Because now we have a Supreme Court who took abortion back to the states where it belongs. Well, that doesn't line up with the ethics of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and whoever else is sitting in the Democratic seat of the White House. So now, does that give them the right to call the Supreme Court up and say, you just ethically denied a woman's right to her choice and right to health care? What you did was unethical. And we have 19 doctors from the University of Harvard to back us up. You have now been removed from the Supreme Court. Gun control. Little Johnny got shot by a bad guy. We want the Supreme Court to do something about gun control. And they say, no, we have the Second Amendment in the Constitution. Every American has the right to bear arms. And then you have a special counsel in the Democratic Party have a hearing and say, well, wait a minute. You ethically are wrong because that kid lost his life due to gun violence and you won't do anything about gun control. We're going to bring you before Congress and you're going to be removed from the Supreme Court because you made the wrong ethical decision. Do you know how dangerous this is?
Yeah.
This is not democracy. The Supreme Court is there for a group of people, 9, to listen to cases, go into their chambers, think about it, pray about it, meditate on it, whatever, I don't care.
Determine
do yoga,
law.
right? And determine constitutional law based on our Constitution.
Right.
And because you don't agree with them and you are in position of power,
You should go home and just go to sleep.
but no, not anymore. If Joe Biden gets his wish list before he leaves,
That's insane.
there's
You
going to be an
can't.
ethics committee that the Supreme Court has to answer to. So their power is gone. They no longer hold power. So now one of the branches of government is non-existent. They are a lame duck branch of our government. Do I have time to get into lame ducks?
Sure, go for it.
We don't have a lame duck president. I repeat, we do not have a lame duck president. No lame duck president here. Oh, wait. China and Russia just got together, and there's bombers off the coast of Alaska.
Wait, really?
Well, they've already sent military out.
Okay.
But within 48 hours of KGB making the announcement, Biden is not fit to run for office for another 4 years. But don't worry. He's fit to serve the next 6 months. He is not, Peter Doocy asked this question. Peter Doocy's awesome, by the way. He is not a lame duck president. He is actively working, upholding the Constitution. Within 48 hours, 2 bombers are off the coast of Alaska. Okay? Military strikes have been happening. Iran bombed I think Iran blew up something. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
They're testing the lame duck.
Well, he's kind of been lame the whole time.
But here, listen to me now. Listen to me as I wrap this thought up. They did not like, I got to find me a pad for my phone so people don't hear me put my phone down. They did not like the fact that Joe Biden was losing in the polls. There was a 0 chance of victory. Trump had this thing hemmed up, sealed up, jelly bean tight. The Democratic Party process is you fight harder, you advertise more, you get out at a grassroots level, and you try to win your race. It is undemocratic of you to say, I'm bowing out, but I'm still going to serve, but I'm bowing out the run. I'm passing the torch to the next generation and appoint your successor. That is undemocratic, correct?
Yeah, you can't do that.
You don't get to appoint your successor. That would be like Trump running 2 terms and then saying, listen, I know I'm out, but I'm going to just appoint Vance to run, and we're not going to hold an RNC, and we're not going to hold an open primary. I've groomed him exactly the way I want to. Now, Vance may be our next president after Trump, right? I think they're grooming him to be a president. But Vance will still have to run in an open general election.
Right.
And get enough points, enough votes to go to the primary. And then he still has to get the delegates at the RNC. It's a process. If I was a Democrat, again, I'd be mad as hell. They are not being democratic in the Democrat Party. They are being socialist. They are being tyrantish. They are being dictatorish. All the while trying to convince the people that Trump is the problem and usins, Republicans, conservatives, are the problems. Remember, she got no votes.
Like, there wasn't even an option.
No, she will be, you're talking about an illegitimate president? She will be an illegitimate president. She got no votes. Joe got 14 million. Hey, Joe, where did your votes go?